Hey, good morning, guys. Shiva here. So let's wait for 5 more minutes. There are a few more folks who are going to join, and I'll be waiting for them. So within 5 minutes, we'll start our session. Thank you. So we completed 5 minutes, and then, yeah, good morning all. We'll start our session today. Thanks to everyone who joined this session, and today is the first regular training session that we are going to start. On Monday, we had a demo session, which is a very brief introduction on the manual testing part and the testing and the test automation, how we are going to define that, and what are the general things that we need to consider when we are defining the terminologies related to the testing and all we discussed. From today's session, we are going to discuss about in details of each and every terminology that we are going to perform in a regular activities, in the form of regular activities in the real-time job. Okay, let's discuss in detail more about that. So in order to start, or in order to understanding what is the testing directly, let's talk about what is the main theme of testing and how are we going to define that particular terminology in order to understand the complete process of testing in the real-time world. Okay, so anyone remembered why we are going to perform the testing?
To improve the quality of application or software.
Okay, improve the quality of an application or software, right? So basically the testing is going to perform to improve the quality of an application or a software. So during this process, during the quality improvement, sorry, there are some type of mistake, let me update. Okay, during this improvement of this quality, what are the steps that we are going to consider? Okay, let's talk about a very generic example. How are we going to define the quality first, so that you'll come to know what kind of areas that you need to concentrate while defining the quality of an application or a software. Okay, so let's talk about quality. Okay, so as I mentioned, a real-time example which is very familiar to everyone. Okay, I usually take those examples. If you want to purchase a mobile, okay, what kind of quality factors that you are going to consider? Any inputs? Anyone?
RAM or ROMs, first of all.
I can say memory.
Yes.
Okay.
A good version.
Sorry, what is that?
Version, good version. Good version.
Okay, I can say software version.
Yeah.
Okay, next.
Camera pixels.
Okay. Any other?
Display size.
Next.
Battery capability.
Okay, next. Any other?
Processor, sir, microprocessor. Sorry. Okay. Let me add and I'll define it later. Okay. Next. I think if someone is talking, I'm not able to hear your voice. Your voice is breaking. That's it. Can we go ahead now? Fine. Let me define this now. So basically, whenever you are defining the quality of a product, whenever you are trying to purchase a product, and if you are trying to define a quality for that, you mentioned there are 5 to 6 factors that you are going to consider. One is memory, software version, camera clarity, display size, battery capability, and microprocessor. Okay, in general, as a human being, if someone wants to purchase a mobile, you don't know anything. Consider that you are a person who is having very nil knowledge, zero knowledge on purchasing a product, purchasing that particular mobile. If you are having zero knowledge, okay, what are the basic things that you are going to consider? You don't know what is mean by mobile at all.
Price.
Okay, good. Next.
Supporting. Network supporting. 4G, 2G.
Okay.
Display.
Display means already we mentioned here display size. Do you mean that?
Yeah, okay, sir.
Looking.
Brand.
Someone said looking. Look and feel, I can say. What is that band?
Company brand.
Brand, okay. Sorry, what is that?
Weight.
Wait. Okay. Fine. I have very good number of factors that you have explained. Thanks for that. It makes me very easy for me to explain what kind of quality things that we need to consider. So now, if you are having some zero knowledge on purchasing a product or purchasing a mobile or purchasing a software, the first thing that we are going to see is the first primary thing that we are going to see is we are going to touch it and we are going to feel it. So how this particular mobile looks like in my hand. So in that case, I'm going to prioritize what are the things that we are going to consider. Look and feel is the first factor that we are going to see. And then we are going to see the brand. And then we are going to see the price, right? And then we are going to see the weight. These are the first primary things that we are going to see whenever we are purchasing that product. If you have some knowledge on that particular area, like you know how to use the mobile, then what are the other things that you are going to consider apart from this? Now, rest of the factors what you have explained here comes into the picture. Sorry, I may not be able to convince this microprocessor because we are not going to see what kind of microprocessor that we are going to use. We are going to see what kind of octa-core processor or something like that we can see on screen, but not physically. We cannot see that particular area, right? The quality might be anything, but overall we are going to see that is one of the specification which is applied on that particular mobile. So rest of the factors what you have mentioned here. So we are going to consider the rest of the factors if someone is having some basic knowledge on how to use the mobile. Okay, let me add those things. Okay, here I'm going to add network as well. Based on this segregation, are you getting any thoughts on this? What kind of segregation that I have done here? I'm removing here. Based on this segregation, are you getting any thoughts on what basis I have done this division? I'll give you the
Based on-
headings as well. Person having zero knowledge. Person having some knowledge. So we need to use some technical term here. Okay, someone sent. Okay, so I have provided some headings here. Person having zero knowledge, person having some knowledge. So what kind of terms that we can provide? I just want to make sure you to understand what kind of quality factors that we are going to consider. Okay, let me enter into the points straight away now. So the quality of a product is being considered into two types of factors. One is technical factor and second one is non-technical factors. Technical factors and non-technical factors. So based on these two terms, this particular look and feel, can I consider this as a non-technical factor? Is it true?
Yes, sir.
And this can be considered as a technical factors. Yeah. So this particular factors are in case of a mobile what we are purchasing now. This is in a case of a mobile what we are purchasing now. If you want to purchase a software whenever you are working in a real time, so how are you going to consider the factors of a particular software? Assume that you are working in one company and you are testing a product and you are testing that particular application or a software. How are you going to define the quality then? What kind of technical factors that you are going to consider and what kind of non-technical factors that you are going to consider? In the similar lines, let me add those things as well. App or software, technical factors. Some technical terms will be there here. Just try to understand. If you are not able to understand, let me know. I'll repeat that point. Reliability. Reliability. Scalability. Scalability. And
Reusable.
sorry, what is that?
Reusable.
Usability, I can say. Fine. Non-technical factors. Price, time. So these are the main important factors which we are going to consider when we are working in a real time if we are going to test the application or a software. Test the application or a software. Now, what is meant by reliability? What is meant by scalability? What is meant by usability? What is meant by price? What is meant by time? First, we'll come with these non-technical factors and then we'll try to understand technical factors, price and time. Okay, let's say a person, I can say his name as a person A. Person A enter into the organization, company 1. Okay, and the same person company 1, and he wants to purchase a product. In company 1, the timelines that they have given is they are going to complete a product or the application or a software in 1 year, and the price of that particular software is 2 crores. 2 CR, I can say. Same person entering into a company 2, and they have given timelines as 6 months, and they charged around 4 CR. Which one is preferable to that particular person or as part of the company? Which one is good? Which deal is good?
Company 1.
Okay.
1 year.
Mhm. Any other? Okay, let me make this second scenario now. They are going to implement this in 1.5 CR. Then
1 year,
Company 1
2
is
crores.
sorry,
company 1 is, sir.
still company 1.
Yes, yes.
Why?
Uh, its validity is 1 year, sir.
Time.
Okay.
1 year.
Mhm. If time is equals to more, then what makes the end user or the client to be very happy and satisfied to select the company 1?
Company 2, sir.
Company 2, someone said. So why?
It cost less and take less time.
Okay, fine. So my question is a simple straightforward question. I'm not talking about in detail of any kind of deliverables or what are the internal things that are going to happen, what are the things that are going to happen at a project level or at a company level. A simple question, there are two cases. One company is taking more time and more money, and second company is taking less money and less time. So what will be the preferable case with respect to the client? The simple option is the company which is taking less time and less money, it is going to be preferable. Why and what kind of situations that we need to consider in that case? Okay, so someone said, like, if we are having more time, the end user may be impressed with that particular timing, length of the time, and maybe your point of view will be, if we are having more time, then the quality can be more. But I'm not talking about in that perspective where the quality quality versus time. So I'm not talking about if quality has to improve, more time should be there. I'm not talking about in that perspective. I'm just talking about in an end user perspective where they want to get a software or an application within the respective time or within the expected time of that particular end user. So that is one of the main reason this particular person is going to select a company 2, which is taking very less time and very less money when compared to company 1. In this case, it's a company burden if they want to put more number of employees to improve the quality of a product, or if they want to have the experienced employees to improve the quality of a product. It's up to the company standards. Client is not going to interfere in that. At end of the implementation or at the end of the deliverable, client is going to accept the quality output when you are delivering a application or a software. That is one of the main thing customer is going to consider. So customer or client or end user all are same. Fine, I hope you understand this point. Any questions or any confusions?
No, sir.
Okay, fine. Thank you. So in this example, I just considered two cases. One case is a company which is taking more time and more money, and a company which is taking less time and less money. Obviously, if if company 2 is going to charge 4 crores, customer will think about that, because company 2 is charging more money, why I have to waste my money? Obviously, in that case, customer may go to this one. There is a chance of selecting company 1 as well. But here, the concept is completely different. They're charging very less money when compared to others. So that's one of the main reason end user is going to select company 2. Here, when price is going to be increased, time should be less. If time is going to be increased, price should be less. Either one has to compromise when we are talking about the non-technical factors, or it might be equal also. It might be equal also. So how are you going to decide this price here? How are you going to decide the price here? This is a in detail level of explanation where you are not going to get anywhere related to QA activity. So whenever you are searching for this particular point, you are not going to get this point in any of the QA explanation. So this is completely very in detail points that you are going to get now. So how are we going to decide the price related to the project given by this customer? There are two models where each and every software company is going to follow. One is time and material. Second one is fixed bidding. One is time and material. Second one is fixed bidding. What is meant by time and material and what is meant by fixed bidding? Anyone have any idea on these terms? Let me tell you a very real time and straightforward example in your living society itself, right? So time and material. Whenever you are constructing a house, whenever you are planning to construct a house, okay, there are two models whenever you are doing that activity. One is either you are going to give complete money to your contractor and he is going to get all the material and he's going to get the labor and he's going to complete the construction and he'll hand over that house to you based on your requirement. That's called fixed bidding. You are going to give fixed amount to that contractor. You are going to have a deal with that contractor and I'm going to give this much money. Whatever the amount that they are going to spend on that material, labor, it's up to the contractor wish. If they want to get the profits, it's up to the contractor. If they are not expecting any profits in that, it's up to the contractor. But we have a deal with that guy. Let's say per suppose we have we have a deal with that contractor with 20 lakhs. Okay, in that 20 lakhs, the contractor has to get the material, has to get every work to be done, and he has to give some charges to the labor, and he has to give some charges to the transportation, everything in the 20 only, which is called a fixed bidding. At the end of the day, contractor is going to deliver that quality product to you, which is as per your expectations. Time and material. How many days that you are going to work here? I'm going to get the material as a client, or else let's think about in this way. We will have a material and I'm going to give you the labor charges. Okay, one day you are going to work. Okay, one day charges will be given. 2 days you are going to work. 2 days charges will be given. 3 days, 3 days, 300 days, 300. Like if you are going to work a number of days, we will charge you a number of days. Understood? It's a
Yes, sir.
simple example. Did you connect it to this example or you want me to tell any other? Like software also the same thing. Application or software, the companies are following these two models, time and material. Okay, I'm going to implement this particular project application or a software, or else I'm going to develop this application or a software within 6 months. Okay, for this 6 months, every hour billing will be like this. Okay, these many people are going to work. Okay, these many people into these many hours is equals to so and so money. That money will be transferred to the organization. Fixed bidding, we will give fixed amount to you, implement that project or develop that particular application or a software and deliver it to the customer or client on the date and time that you are going to mention. Two models they are going to follow. And one more important point is these two terminologies will not come under a straightforward testing activity. Basically, this can be used when you are talking about business analyst. Business analyst. So there is a job called business analyst where they are going to interact with the customers on regular basis, and they'll have the complete knowledge on time and material and fixed bidding, which comes under project management. They are going to deal with all these kind of activities. But it is useful for QA perspective as well on how are we going to decide the non-technical factors of a product. So that's the reason I have explained all these things. Any questions here until non-technical factors?
No, sir.
Clear?
No, sir.
Fine.
Clear.
Let's go to the technical factor. Here we have mentioned reliability, scalability, usability. All this comes under technical factor. It's not only the reliability that we can talk, or scalability that we can talk, or usability that we can talk here. We can talk about the technical terms of a application or a software as well. But overall, if you want to define the technical factors, these three factors can justify in detail of the quality of a application or a software. Reliability. What is meant by reliability? Any idea on that? Reliability is nothing but how you are believing yourself while implementing a product or application or a software. Reliability means believing that particular application or a software. Based on the customer requirements, the development process is being completed and the application is completely reliable to use. And there are no malfunctions or fraud things that are going to happen with this application. It's a application which is having complete reliability, and we can make use of each and every feature of that particular application. Where this malfunction and fraud comes into the picture, when the application is having payment gateways or money related transactions are going to happen, right? So in those kind of applications, reliability is more important. Fraud should not happen there. Whenever we are transferring a money, that particular amount has to transfer to the right person. It should not deviate, or it should not transfer to some other person. So if it is transferring to right person, then the reliability will be more. The application reliability will be more. The usage will be more. The scalability will be more. If the application is not fit for that particular reliability, then obviously the scalability will be less and the usability will also be less. Okay, these are all comes under like look and feel, how the application can be utilized, and what are the terms that we have in that application or a software can be understandable. When we click on submit button, what is going to happen? When we click on make a payment, what is going to happen? These are all comes under reliability. Scalability, like if application can be used by one person, what is the reaction of the application? What is the response that application is going to provide? If the application is going to deal by 1,000 persons, 1,000 members, so what can be the reliability? If the application is going to deal by 10,000 persons, what will be the reliability? 20,000 persons, what will be the reliability? Like if the number of persons going to increase, what can be the scalability of that application? If you observe Gmail application in a regular life, at this point of time, right now the time is 8:36 a.m. right? At this point of time, there are crores of people who are accessing the application, but still the application response time, the way that it behaves to each and every user is same. Within fraction of seconds, the application gets loaded. How? Because of the scalability. And usability. What is meant by usability basically? Anyone?
Simply using end user.
Okay, very simple. I can make it is very simple, like simple to use at the end user point of view. In detail, if you want to understand, simple to use means, let's say you are seeing my screen. I have shared my screen with notepad and I'm just writing some content. The background is white and the letters what I have written on the screen is black. If I'm going to write the letters in white color, will you be able to see that? what I'm writing? Is it
No.
comfortable for you to see? No,
No.
right? So usability, in the sense, usability may have different points which comes into the picture, but one of the main point is how you are going to deal with the application, how user friendly that you are going to maintain that application is the important thing. It comes with look and feel, it comes with color, it comes with contrast. Everything can be considered here. Not only with the background color, it can be anything. Spelling mistakes. So if you know English very well, you know Hindi very well, you know Telugu very well. If the application is completely in French, will you be able to understand? Or if the application is in some other language like ASCII codes, will you be able to understand? No, right?
No.
ASCII language is purely for computer mission level language, which can be easily understandable by the computer at the back end, but not at the front end as a user friendly point of view. That means whenever you are dealing with the application, it should be usable. It should be usable by the browser. That's how usability comes into the picture. That's how usability comes into the picture. Every application or a software is having two types of factors. One is technical factor and non-technical factor. Technical factors is mostly on reliability, scalability, and usability, and non-technical factors are price and time. Non-technical factors are price and time. Any questions so far? I'll give you a couple of minutes. Think about the concept, revise it. If you have any questions, please do let me know. I'll continue with the next concept after this. If you have any questions, I'll clarify those things and then I'll move on to the next concept.
Sir, price time.
Sorry, what is that?
Price time. Non-technical factor.
Yeah.
1 second.
Okay. You want me to repeat that? Fine. So any other? Okay, let me repeat that. Non-technical factors, price and time. So in order to purchase an application or a software, or in order to develop the application or a software, customer will have couple of non-technical factors where they are going to consider. What are those non-technical factors? Means, as I mentioned here, price and time. If the company is taking more time and less charges, this is one case. And second case is company is taking very less time to develop an application or a software and having more budget. Less time, less budget will be there. So if you can see the example, I have mentioned two cases there. One person approached a company one, and and he has given some requirements to the company one, and the company has given a quote saying that we will develop this application within 1 year and the charge will be 2 crores. And the same person approached company two, and the company two has given a quote saying within 6 months we will develop that application or a software and the charges will be 1.5 crores. In which case the person A will be completely okay with that and satisfied, and they're going to have a deal with the company. So as we discussed, the company two will have that project because the company two has given very less company two has given less time and less charges. In that case, more profits will be there with the customer only. So customer will think about the profits as well, right? So they are not going to be the persons who are ended up with the losses here. So they have to think about the profits as well. So in that case, price versus time. A company which is taking very less time and less money, the company will deal with the project with the customer. But again, it's a customer point of view. All these comes with the picture of reliability again. Reliability, how technically you are strong, how the company, how that company is having good reputation in the market, how the startups are surviving now. All this comes into the picture. But overall, price and time are the non-technical factors when we are defining a quality. When we are defining a quality, if you have more time to improve the quality of an application, don't think about the price here. If you have more budget here, don't think about the time. Within less span of time, you can complete the application testing, right? It's a vice versa thing. That's the reason we are considering price and time as a non-technical factors to define the quality of an application or a software. Right? Understood?
Yes, sir.
Yep. Any other questions? Okay. What are the interview questions here? I'll give you the document as well. After a couple of days or 4 days, I'll give you the list of interview questions in manual testing separately and test automation separately. In test automation, we will have some verbal questions and some technical questions as well. I'll share those documents whenever we are going to start with that. But as of now, I'm just telling you orally with the at the concept level. So how are you going to define the quality of an application? So that's one question you are going to get. Second thing, what are the factors that you are going to consider? One is technical and second one is non-technical. You have to explain. Don't explain the time and material and fixed bidding if they are not going to ask you this question. If they are going to ask you, then only you have to explain. Unnecessary points do not include in the interview standpoint of view. And second thing, one interview tip for the day today. Whenever you are attending the interview, the explanation should be very keen and straight, right? Don't explain any extra points if you are not completely aware of that particular terminology. That's an important tip that you have to follow when you are attending the interview. Second thing, be very cool. Don't get panic. Don't have any kind of tension. So think about it's a kind of coordination with opposite person. That's it. Maybe these are the general words everyone used to tell, but still it's my responsibility to keep you posted with these kind of updates, what is happening in the market. So that's the reason one of the important tip is whatever the points that you have included or whatever the points that you are completely aware of, then only start with that point. Otherwise, don't talk about the terminology when you are explaining the answers in the interview. One of the important tip that you have to follow. Second thing, resume should be very clean and neat. Don't create same format of resume what other people used to do from past 5 to 10 years. Okay, try to upgrade your resume and it should be very attractive. Like when I'm going to see your resume, it should be very clean and neat, and the presentation should be very good. So that these two things for this particular day, these two are the tips related to the interview. Daily we will discuss about more points there. So I hope you are good with the software quality what I have explained so far. Now let's move to the next point. Yesterday we were discussing about the definition of testing, and it's a general definition of testing that we have discussed yesterday. Today we will discuss about the technical definition of testing. Today we will discuss about the technical definition of testing. There are two terms which you have to understand in order to know what is meant by testing an application or a software. There are two terms. One is verification and second one is validation. How are you going to define verification and validation in order to define the testing. Let's see how can we define that now. Simply I can say testing is equals to verification plus validation. There are, like, we have other terms as well, like correctness and completeness. These two are the most general terms that are being used in the market, but still verification and validation is one of the best term that we can use so far. Okay, just give me a moment. I have some background noise here. I'll be on mute for a minute. Fine, I'm fine now. So we are talking about the technical definition of testing here. Yesterday we discussed about a very simple definition: checking or validating the customer requirements, checking or validating the application or a software, whether it is working as per the customer expectations or not. That's what we have defined yesterday. Today we will discuss about the technical term of testing: verification and validation. What is meant by verification and what is meant by validation? Any idea or any guesses?
Anything is checking, sir.
Sorry, what is that?
Verification means anything is checking, sir.
Okay. Second, validation.
Validation means how much long it is working.
Okay. Any real-time example that you are going to see on your daily life? Can I tell? Okay, let me tell you one example. With this example, you'll get the complete definition of testing. Okay, you're logging into your net banking portal or okay, let me tell this example. You are logging into your net banking portal. What is going to happen whenever you are entering username and password? Immediately it will display a screen: OTP verification is required and the OTP has been sent to your registered mobile number. The message itself is saying that OTP verification is required. That means it is trying to verify the OTP. What does that mean? The application is trying to understand whether you are the right user or not. You are the right person to use that net banking credentials or not. You are the right person to verify that OTP or not. So that's the reason application is going to send one OTP to you. The message itself is saying that OTP verification is in progress and you receive OTP to your registered mobile number. What is the next step that is going to happen? You're going to receive the SMS and you'll have the 6-digit OTP. Once you enter OTP and click on submit. What is going to happen? The application is going to display OTP is successfully validated, and we will redirect you to the login page. Understand the whole process, what I said now?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Your live example will be in front of your eyes only in your daily life. Testing means, here I'm just taking one example for the testing activity. I just want to log in into the application. This is my testing activity now. If I want to log in into the application, there are two things: verification and validation. Verification means the application is trying to understand whether you are the right person or not. Validation means, yes, you are the right person who is validating the application. It is confirming. Verification, OTP verification is the first step which is going to happen. Once you enter the OTP is being validated. If you enter wrong OTP, what will happen? You entered invalid OTP, and we will redirect back you to the login page. That means validation is not successful here. Maybe verification was successful, but validation is not successful. If validation is not successful, what is going to happen? The testing is going to fail, right? It's a simple live example. You can connect with your real-time things that you are going to perform. Not only this login, even if you are going to do the payment, right? If you are purchasing a product in Amazon or Flipkart, you have to make a payment. Or else, even if you are going to select the cash on delivery, nowadays it is asking for OTP, whether you are the person to select the cash on delivery or whether you are the person who is purchasing this product or not. Mostly you can see this option in the Flipkart. Whenever you are selecting the cash on delivery, it will send one OTP. You have to enter that OTP. Once you confirm, the order will be placed. Amazon, I don't know. Amazon, for Prime members, it is not going to display any OTP when you are selecting the cash on delivery. For regular people, I don't know, because I'm not using that. Whenever you are using Flipkart, you can see this pay on deliveries option. If you are going to select, it will send the OTP for verification. Once you enter the OTP, it is going to get validated. That means testing will have two steps always. One is verification and second one is validation. When verification and validation both are successful, then only the testing is going to get passed. Otherwise, the testing will always be failed. Right? Simple, straightforward definition to understand what is meant by testing. And even there are few people who are explaining these two terms as a correctness plus completeness. Verification is nothing but correctness. Validation is nothing but completeness. So the definition will be like this. It's not mandatory that you have to define testing is equals to verification plus validation, or it's not mandatory even to define testing is equals to correctness plus completeness. Whichever is comfortable for you, you can use that terminology and you can explain that. But as part of real-time example, if you want to connect very quickly, verification and validation is very easy for you to understand. That's the reason I just explained you the example of login into your net banking or some other application with OTP verification and OTP validation. Any questions here?
No, sir.
No, sir.
Okay. Yesterday we were discussing about the approaches of testing. One is manual testing approach. Second one is test automation approach. One is manual testing approach and second one is test automation approach. I'll just repeat these 2 points again and then I'll move forward with manual testing in detail. Because there are few people who joined today. It will help them to understand what is meant by testing. Manual testing. Manual testing is nothing but the process of testing activity which can be performed in person with the manual efforts. Suppose you are working for a company, you want to test the application, you have to sit in front of the system and you have to test it. There is no other option. You cannot use any other software when you are working with manual testing part. So manual testing is nothing but testing an application with in-person or manual efforts without using any other softwares is nothing but manual testing. One live example I can tell you here. You want to purchase a product in Amazon or Flipkart. Okay. If you want to purchase a product in Amazon or Flipkart, what you are going to do? You are going to open Amazon application or Flipkart. You are going to search for a product. You are going to select the product. You are going to click on add to cart or buy now. Once you enter into payment screen, either you can do the payment on the spot or you are going to select the cash on delivery and you are going to confirm. This is how the process you are going to follow. This particular process, all these steps you are doing or some other software is doing this?
We are doing.
As a person, you are doing it manually. You are doing it manually. You are not using any other software and you are not passing any instructions to that software to purchase a product here. You are by your own hands, with your own hands, you are selecting the product and you are going to purchase a product. So that's how manual testing is going to deal with. Even if you want to purchase 10 products, you have to follow the same process. There is no other option when you are working with manual testing. You have to open your mobile, log into the application, select the product, go to payment screen, confirm your payment options and complete your order placement. Second product, search for the second product, select the product, check out, complete the payment activity and then confirm your order. So likewise, if you are purchasing n number of products, n number of times you have to do it manually. There is no other option that you can follow here. That's how manual testing is going to deal with. And coming to the next definition called test automation. So far, everyone used to call this as automation testing. Everyone used to call this as an automation testing. Even till yesterday, until I explain you this is test automation, even you are in assumption that it is an automation testing, right? True? True or false?
True.
So automation testing, see, there are two definitions you have to understand very clearly when we are talking about particular terminology in a IT industry. Manual testing we have defined, that means there is no other software that we are going to use it here and we are going to test the application manually. But here in automation, there are two terms you have to think about, not only single terminology. You have two terms. One is automation development. One is automation development. Second one is automation testing. These both comes under, in single term, I am defining here test automation. Maybe we'll have different terms as well, but comparatively automation testing with test automation, this looks somehow odd in my point of view. So that's the reason I have segregated this as a test automation. But what is meant by automation development and automation testing here?
Developers can develop the code.
Okay.
Testers
Testing?
can do the testing.
Exactly. So if you are going to call this term only as an automation testing, what is going to happen? You no need to get experience on developing the automation script. You'll get the experience on testing the automation code, right? You're not testing the automation here. You are developing the automation scripts. That means in order to test the application repetitively, you need to design the automation scripts. You need to design the automation scripts. That designing part, that developing the automation scripting part, you are getting the knowledge here. You are not only testing, you are not executing the scripts always. You need to develop the scripts as well. That is a very important activity. Automation development means developing the automation scripts in order to test the application. Testing, automation testing means testing the automation cycle in order to testing the automation cycle in order to test the automation and in order to test the application. So you should not be in a position to test the automation scripts which are being developed by someone else. You should be in a position to develop the automation scripts. That's how you'll get the knowledge on coding part as well. Otherwise, automation development will be development always, automation testing will be testing always. Clicking on run button will not give you any idea on how to design the automation script. Getting knowledge on developing the automation script will give you the complete picture of automation cycle. That's a very important thing that you are going to get now in our training session. So that's the reason I'm just calling this term as a test automation. Test automation, which is a very important thing. Practice is very important, as I mentioned in our demo session, which is 100% mandatory and required skill for you to understand how this automation script can be designed. There are a lot of challenges that you are going to face in the real time, but still practice will give you the complete knowledge and analytical skill on how to develop the complex automation scripts in your real time job. Right? I hope you understand this point. Test automation is nothing but it includes automation development and automation testing as well. You're not here to click on run button only. You are here to design the automation scripts as well. Develop the automation script as well by using any one of the programming language or scripting language that we are going to discuss. Clear?
Yes, sir.
Now, let's move on to the in details of manual testing from today. So till now I discussed about the quality as well, that comes under manual testing only. But now let's talk about the testing team, how the globally testing team is being defined. Yesterday we discussed about 4 roles and responsibilities. Likewise, I'm just telling you it in a generic way today as well. Testing team consisting of few responsibilities and few roles globally, but it differs from company to company. Even nowadays the company are opening the requirements with different roles and responsibilities and different designations as well. But as part of global standards, we have QA manager, QAR test lead, senior test engineer, and trainee. There are 5 roles and responsibilities they have defined. So one is manager, second one is lead, third one is senior, fourth one is test engineer, and fifth one is trainee. So it differs, or it depends on the experience as well. The role can be segregated. Trainee means 0 to 1 year or 2 years, and test engineer means 2 years to 4 years or 5 years. Senior means 5 years to 6 or 7 years, and then lead, and then manager. It depends on the role that they have been segregated, and the project and the domain that they are following as well. It completely depends on, and even how much domain knowledge that person is having. These are the very important key aspects that we need to remember when we are into the testing team. Now, let's talk about manual testing in details now. Any questions so far? Let me know. I'll give you a couple of minutes to think about it. No questions? Are we good? One minute. Fine. So we'll talk about the details of manual testing now. So anyone have, at some point of time, did you get this thought how the software companies are developing the project and how are they going to get the project? Did you get this thought? What is the initial step that they're going to take in care, and how the projects are going to develop, and who are going to do this activity? Did you get this thought at some point of time in your background, or whenever you are learning testing, or whenever you are trying to understand what is meant by testing? Anyone? Did you understand my question?
Can you please repeat it?
Okay. So at some point of time, whenever you are learning, or whenever you are trying to learn the what is meant by testing, or whenever you are trying to understand what is meant by testing, did you get this thought? Means how the companies are going to get the projects, how are they going to develop the projects, and what are the standards that they are going to use in order to develop the projects? Did you get this kind of thoughts?
Yes, sir.
Yes,
Yeah,
sir.
I can get this thought.
Because your relatives are keep on saying that I have a meeting, I have a call, I'm into this project, and I have the project release on so and so date, I cannot come to this so and so event, or they're going to tell these kind of reasons when
Yes, sir.
they are talking to you. So did you get these kind of thoughts? What is meant by project, what they are going to do in this project, and how are they going to contribute from their end when they are developing the project? What will happen when they are developing a project, right? There are different things that are going to happen, that are going to rotate in our mind, right? Now you'll get the complete picture on how the project is going to start and how the project is going to end in the real time. So which is nothing but software development life cycle. Software development life cycle. What is mean by this? It's a cycle which can be defined how the software can be developed, right? So it's a life cycle, it's a cyclic process. How the software can be developed is going to define under software development life cycle. So in order to develop a software, what is the initial step that we have to take in care, and what is the final step that is going to happen in the real time job? In order to understand this, there are 6 phases in software development life cycle. There are 6 phases in software development life cycle. One is,
Requirements gathering.
okay, next,
Designing.
no,
Requirement collections. Requirement analysis, requirement-
next to design, next,
Development.
okay,
Coding.
okay,
Testing.
Deployment and maintenance.
Implement.
Maintenance.
okay. Any?
Implement.
Implementation comes under development only. Let me write that as well. I think my keyboard is having some problem, so that's the reason it is skipping few things and it is moving up and down. Okay, that's fine. I'll resolve this later. Okay, there are 6 phases in software development life cycle. Some says there are 7, some says there are 8, but they're going to segregate this deployment and maintenance into 2 different things, and they're going to differentiate some different categories here, but overall there are 6 phases in software development life cycle. Okay, so let me know about this point now. Can a single person handle all these phases at a time?
No,
Can
sir.
No,
no,
sir.
right? Obviously no. All these 6 phases cannot be handled by a single person. That means each and every phase is being allocated with one responsible person who is going to handle that particular phase. One responsible person or responsible team, that we can say, right? Each and every phase will have one responsible person or responsible team to handle that particular activity. Likewise, software development lifecycle is having 6 phases. All these 6 phases is being categorized by handled by individual person or individual team in order to fulfill the requirements that we are going to have. Let me know one point. If we are going to complete all these 6 phases, what is going to happen? Any idea?
Should be
Release the
develop
product.
the software or a product.
Sorry.
I think full stack developer.
Okay. I'm not talking about that person activity. I'm just asking the question, if we are going to complete all these 6 phases, what is going to happen in the next step?
Product release.
Okay.
See,
What is that? C? Can you repeat that? Okay. Any other inputs? So I'll include deployment, release, and maintenance. Okay. Let me ask you this question in this way. What is the outcome? What is the expectation and outcome after all these 6 phases are completed? Don't say release, because after releasing only I'm talking about. What is the expectation I'm talking about?
after all these 6 phases, the QA and QC team will be involved, checking all the implementations are done.
No. I'm just asking you in a simple way. See, one thing, just relate this
Application,
question to your example. Okay, you are purchasing a mobile, you have your own mobile or new mobile in your hand. What is your expectation and the outcome that you are going to expect?
Features.
Okay.
Performance.
Okay.
It's properly working or not?
Okay.
Update.
Okay. Let me tell you. Features, after seeing all the features, then only you are going to purchase a product, purchase your mobile. That's one thing. That means that's not the outcome or expectation that you are going to have. Second thing, someone said performance. You already know how the application, how the mobile performance will be. Based on that specification only you are going to purchase. That is not the outcome. Okay. Third point, someone said, can you repeat that? Apart from performance and feature?
Update.
No, it's not an update. You're not going to expect the updates on daily life. It might be depends on the release that they are going to do. It's not the update. Someone said valid point. That I forgot. Okay, let me tell you. See, it's not a complicated question, one thing. It's a simple, straightforward question. If you are purchasing a new mobile, what is your expectation on that particular mobile? Okay. That particular answer will be quality, right? let's say the person who said like features or update or whatever, the features or whatever, we all have a same mobile. Let us assume that we all have a same mobile, same version, same brand, same price, everything is same. But at the end of the day, we will expect the quality only. Like your mobile may have full on memory and my mobile may have nothing consumed. I haven't consumed anything. Someone may some other mobile may have lot of videos, lot of music and everything. So in that case, how that mobile quality and mobile performance will be, but my expectation and outcome will be how much quality product this is. I know the features, I know the performance, I know the RAM, I know the memory, I know the battery life, I know the brand, I know the price, everything I know. Based on that only we are going to get the project, right? Customer will give the features and company will give the price and time, right? Company will give the brand and customer already knows the feature and company knows how to design that and how to develop that and company will test it and company will release it. That means before releasing itself, company knows all the features of the application, all the performance of the application, memory wise, everything it has to know, price wise it already know, time wise it already know, everything know. But outcome will be the quality. If the quality is not good after purchasing that mobile, what is going to happen? You are not going to satisfy with that. Am I correct or wrong?
Yes.
Correct, sir.
Yes. Now, let us talk about the individual phases that we are going to understand. Okay, there are 6 phases: requirements gathering or requirement collection, requirement analysis, design, coding or implementation or development, then testing, then deployment, release and maintenance. Few people, as I mentioned, like few people are going to explain these are having 7 phases and 8 phases. Those 7 and 8 is being categorized into this one: deployment as one phase, release as one phase, and maintenance as another phase. Don't consider these 3 are into different status. Consider these 3 into one phase only. Let us talk about phase by phase now. As I mentioned, for all the phases, there is no single point of contact. Okay, each and every phase will have individual responsible person who is going to work on that particular activity, because for me or for you it's very complicated to handle all the phases at a time or in a project level. Even though they have given 1 year or 2 year span of time, you cannot handle all the activities at a time. You cannot gather the requirements, you cannot design it, you cannot code it, you cannot test it, you cannot deploy it. Single person cannot be handle all these things. Someone said full stack developer as well in the mid. That's a different job. We will discuss about and that particular point when we are discussing about the coding development or implementation and designing part. During these 2 phases we will discuss about that point. So requirements gathering and collection. First point, first phase. So the term itself is indicating that we are gathering the requirements. I said we. Who is that we? Who is that person responsible to gather the requirements or collecting the requirements? From whom
Business
we
side.
need to collect the requirements?
Fine.
Yes. So requirement gathering or requirement collection is going to happen from client or customer, where it is, client or customer or end user BA. That means business analyst is right? From customer or client or end user, BA is going to collect. BA is the responsible person to collect the requirements. What BA is going to do after collecting the requirements? Is he or she going to keep everything in his or her mind? Will they be able to remember all the requirements?
No, you will be preparing BRS documents.
Okay.
And you are
Hmm.
all these collections.
Just a logical question, guys. So whenever I'm talking about these questions, think about it logically. So they're not, if we are going to work on a project or application or a software, it's not a simple thing that we can remember everything in our mind. So whenever we are entering into a software world, everything should be documented, or everything should have a written proof instead of having verbal communication or verbal proofs, or remembering everything into your mind. You should have the written proofs, then only everything can be acceptable. Just keep this point in your mind, which will help you to understand how the implementation can happen in a real-time world, how you can survive in a real-time world, which is a very important thing. Don't logically don't think that everything can be explained verbally. Everything can be in a written proofs as well. Okay, that's something will help you to grow very fast in a IT world. So like this requirement gathering or requirement collection, BA is responsible to collect all the requirements from the client or customer or a end user. After collecting all those requirements, what BA can do? BA is not going to keep everything in his or her mind. BA is going to prepare a document. What is that document called? The document is called BRS or URS or CRS we can call. So this means business or user or customer requirements specification. Business requirement specification or user requirement specification or customer requirement specification. One second. Okay. So BA is going to define all these kind of requirements in these type of documents, BRS or URS or CRS. BRS or URS or CRS means business requirement specification or customer requirement specification or user requirement specification. So everything can be documented here. So what kind of requirements can be documented? So how they are going to get documented? In which format they are going to document? Any idea? Okay, let me tell you.
I think PPTs.
Okay, so it's not restricted to any kind of template. First point, it might be a PPT or it might be an Excel document or it might be a Word document. It might be anything, but still the representation is very important. The representation is very important in order to define the requirements whenever customer is providing those things. Okay, so there is no restriction that BA has to prepare all the requirements or log all the requirements in a specific kind of document or PPT or Excel or Word document. BA can prepare or BA can collect all the requirements in any document format. But only thing is, these BRS or URS or CRS document is a plain document. There is no details involved in this kind of documentation. It's a plain document, which is having basic details of requirements. Nothing can be defined. It's a very basic details that it is going to have. Like login page will be there. In the login page, what are the fields that it has to be? Nothing will be involved in this BRS or URS or CRS document. After collecting all these requirements and documented to BRS or URS or CRS, these documents are going for analysis part. These documents are going for analysis part. What is meant by analysis here? Requirements analysis. So whatever the requirements that we have collected, whether those requirements can be implemented by us or not, that they are going to analyze. The technical stack is available or not, what are the softwares that we have to purchase, and what are the areas that we have to concentrate, and what are the requirements given by the customer. Do we have any conflict between one requirement and another requirement? All these kind of analysis is going to happen in the requirements analysis phase. This analysis is being performed by, and the responsible person for this requirement analysis is system analyst. And the responsible person for this analysis phase is system analyst. System analyst will take the help from BA, support from BA as well. We'll take the help from BA and they're going to perform the analysis. After performing the analysis, what are the input documents here?
BRS and URS. The
Input documents for analysis is BRS or URS or CRS. Sorry, I'm correcting you. Someone said BRS and URS and CRS. It's not and. We don't have 3 documents. We'll have only 1 document. The document name might be either you can call it as a BRS or URS or CRS. Document is only 1. We have 3 names for that. Okay. And the output document.
FRS.
Yep, exactly. The
And
output document. What is that?
SRS.
For now, I'm keeping that, but I'll let you know when we are going to use that in an exact phase. Okay. So main document will be FRS document. Main document from this requirement analysis phase will be FRS document, and SRS will be a later part. I'll let you know when it is. So once after requirement collection or gathering is done, BA is going to prepare BRS or URS or CRS. After this BRS or URS is or CRS is done, and requirements is being analyzed by support and system analyst by taking support from BA, and they are going to prepare FRS document, which is nothing but functional requirement specification. Okay, as of now, I'm just defining FRS document only here. Here, there are 2 things which are going to happen either after requirement analysis or before requirement analysis. It depends on the company again, but overall, at this point of time, either after requirement gathering or requirement analysis, this phase has to happen. That is nothing but feasibility study. What is meant by feasibility study? This particular feasibility study is going to happen either after requirement gathering or requirement analysis. There is no rule that it has to happen only after requirement gathering only. There are a lot of people who are explaining feasibility study is going to happen after requirement gathering or requirement collection, but it can happen requirement analysis as well, but not after that, but not after designing or something. It has to happen either after analysis or after gathering only. What is meant by feasibility study? Process of analyzing. It's a process of analysis where the organization is performing the process related activities to sign the project with the to sign the project with the customer. This is called feasibility study. That means whenever we are going to get a project as a company, whenever we are going to get a project, we cannot directly go and develop the requirements, or we cannot directly deliver the product to the customer. First, we need to collect the requirements. We need to analyze them, whether that particular technology or technical stack is available with our company or not, or do we need to recruit new employees for that particular technology, or do we need any other extra resources to develop that particular project. Everything should be analyzed here, and after that analysis, every quotation like SOW, we can call that as a SOW, software at work. This documentation will be sent to the customer. Once customer go through all the documents and customer satisfied with that, then our company is going to send RFP and SLA documents to the customer, which are nothing but request for proposal and service level agreement. Yes, service level agreement. So these two documents will be shared to the customer. So customer is going with all these kind of terms that we are going to have. These documents will not included with the requirements or nothing related to the project. These documents are something related to terms and conditions what our organization is going to follow, right? Everything can be included in these two documents and send it for the customer review. After customer review is done, customer is going to give some signatures on these documents. Once we get sign on these documents, our company is going to start designing part, developing part, testing, and release and maintenance. Until we get confirmation from the customer in this feasibility study, we cannot move forward with the designing or development or testing or release and maintenance. Clear? Any questions? Don't worry about this. I'll repeat the same points again in tomorrow's session as well, but I'm just giving you the overview of what is happening in the software development life cycle. Quickly, I'll give you a brief single word statements on the remaining phases as well, and we will end up the session for today. And then in tomorrow's session, we will start again with software development life cycle with in detail documentation part as well. Okay, coming to the next phase, the design phase. The responsible person for the design phase will be design architect. Design architect is going to design the look and feel of the application. Once after that look and feel of the application is being designed, then the functionality part will be designed by the development team. Dev team is going to design the functionality part. Once the dev team is going to design the functionality part, then testing team is going to perform the testing activity. And once the testing is done, the deployment, release, and maintenance will be carried with the end user. End user is the, I cannot say end user is the responsible person. After this activity, end user is going to responsible. That means during the maintenance phase. During the maintenance phase. In this design phase also, we are going to have three types of documents again. Application design document, which is having low level design, and then high level design, and then next one is GUI design document, and then database design document. These three will be there in design phase. And then coding, mostly SRS is one of the thing, and FRS will be the input document, I can say. And then testing phase, there are a lot of documents will be in testing phase. Starts with test plan document, test plan and test strategy. Test plan and test strategy, test scenarios, test cases, test results or test report, test closure. So these are the main documents that we are going to have. Apart from this, we will have RTM, requirement traceability matrix, which is being developed by the business analyst. So those things will also be covered under test deliverables only. And after this, finally, we have deployment, release, and maintenance. We'll have this end user document, which is called user manual, we can say. We are going to deliver user manual on how to use the application. Apart from this, we can say help documents as well. These are all the phases that we are going to have in SDLC, and each and every phase is having priority in developing a software. So it's not so simple thing that your friends or colleagues or relatives are saying that I am working in so and so project and I'm developing so and so project and I have so and so meeting and I have so and so project release. It's not so simple thing to release a project within a single right within single hour or some specific span of time. It involves a lot of activities which are going to happen in the background, which includes requirement, starting from requirement gathering or collection to coding, deployment, release, and maintenance phase. I hope you understand the point what I said. If you have any questions, you can ask the questions now. And again, I'm repeating the point, manual testing is completely a process oriented training only. Theoretical concepts are more, process oriented concepts are more, documentation is more, understanding of analytical and logical thinking is more in manual testing. In test automation, you'll have basic coding skills, you'll have basic analytical skills, you'll have logical thinking, and you'll have implementation knowledge on how to design the automation script. Someone asked me, scroll down. Okay, over to you guys. If you have any questions, please ask me. Okay, before joining the session tomorrow, just try to get some knowledge on SDLC. You can search it in Google, you'll have a lot of information. Or else try to get some basic knowledge on what is meant by SDLC and what are the phases that we are having. Okay, so we will discuss more in detail concept of SDLC and everything in tomorrow's session, which will help you to understand very easily if you are coming up with your basic knowledge. Okay, very soon you'll get the details of course content and everything. Maybe by today end of the day I'll share all those details. Okay, that's good.
Okay, sir.
Maybe material also I need to review it one more time. If any updates are required with latest terms and all, I'll do it within a day or two. Mostly by this weekend you'll get the material as well
Okay, sir.
of manual testing. Okay, someone said like shared the recorded video to WhatsApp group. I don't know about this, Ashok. I'm not in that WhatsApp group. Maybe admin will give you all the privileges to get all those recorded videos and all. Maybe I'm not the right person to answer this question. So they'll give you that information. Even the documents and everything, you'll get it through the admin only. So if you haven't received, let me know after this weekend so that I can talk to them. Rest of the details they'll give you. You can be in touch with them. Okay. That's what Aslam I just said. That index means curriculum and the course concepts that we are going to discuss, right? So maybe by end of the day or tomorrow you'll get that. Index is not different or curriculum is not different, both are same. Fine. If you don't have any questions, I'll wrap up this session. There are too many things that we discussed today. Try to remember those things and try to recollect those things as well. If you have any questions, please log those questions and let me know if you have anything else in next session so that I'll answer to all those questions and then we'll move forward with other concepts what we are going to discuss. Yeah. Thank you so much, guys. Have a nice day. Bye.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you so much.